Hello and welcome to this edition of Rollin' Sports. We're coming to you from Boyd County High School, where the soccer team, the defending region champion and also Elite 8 participant last season, had their first or second scrimmage of the season tonight. And with me here is Cole Thompson. And Cole, good to have you on here. Talk about your position and what you do on the soccer field.
So throughout my high school season, I've played about everywhere on the field except goalkeeper. So I've been moved around a lot on the field. This is my first year playing striker fully, so that really just entails me. I got to do some hard sprints up the field, and I got to get back on defense because strikers and forwards are the first line of defense on the field. So you have to be pretty athletic to play striker.
And talk about the training that you did over the summer. I know that you lost some important players from last season's team, but there's also a lot of reasons to be optimistic.
Mm-hmm. See, 2 years ago we graduated a lot of people, made a run, and we got to the Elite 8. So this year we lost a lot of people. I'm not really worried about it, if you ask me. I mean, we can come back out. We can get that far again, I believe, with this team. I'm very confident in that.
Mm-hmm. And talk about the strengths that you have coming back, and you've had a couple scrimmages now. You, of course, have trained a lot over the summer. Talk about what you're seeing in this team that they're bringing to the table.
Some of them definitely need to, grow up a little bit and mature a little bit more. We have probably the best goalie that Boyd County's ever seen, Carter Gibson here. So he is a great asset to us. He helps our back line stay down. Whenever they're acting a little skittish, he can calm them down because you know that you've got your brick wall back there.
And the life of a soccer player, let's talk about that with all the training you've done, because I knew that, and I remember back in high school just seeing the soccer team training all the time and everything they did. Talk about just how much training you do and running especially.
Yeah. So when we get here and we warm up, usually we start with like 4 or 5 laps after a short little warm-up, and during the entire, not a single drill that we do at practice doesn't involve you running at least 10 yards. And a lot of the time you're running around, and it can feel a little redundant, but it really does help you calm down in those real in-game scenarios whenever you've just drilled it into your brain over and over and over in practice. It really does help you in the game. It helps you become more confident. And, it's just that repetition just gets it. You're like, if you get into that situation in the game, you can be like, oh, I know what to do here. We did it in practice. Mm-hmm. So.
And now switching gears a little bit to football, and you're also the kicker on the football team. Talk about the excitement there, because it was a young team last year, but gosh, there's so much back, a lot of reasons to be excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got a lot of people coming back. We're expected to be very strong this year. I've gotten 20 times better since last year. So I've been working on myself kicking-wise. I started 2 seasons ago. I played the last 3 games. Last year was my first full season. So in the off-season, I've been training quite a lot. And I hope to go out there and I can show people what I've been working on, And I think everybody else on the football team is with me on that as well. They're excited to show people what they can do. We got our first scrimmage coming up tomorrow. So they're ready to show out, man. I know they are.
And talk about, it's one thing to be a multi-sport athlete, but to be a multi-sport athlete in the same season. Talk about just the demand that brings and how you've been able to achieve it quite successfully.
So it's a very tough balance, but I have some great coaches by my side. They're very understanding. They understand that I play 2 sports in a day. So like today, I had practice this morning. We went to Yatesville Lake, had a great time there with the football team, and then I had to get home, take a nap, and come out here, play this soccer game. But I think that I still showed up and performed, because my coaches, they know what it takes to play both sports at the same time. It's hot out there in them pads, It's tough.
Yes, and lastly, for the fan base to get to know something about you, talk about maybe something that you like doing. Well, I say this when you have spare time. I know that's probably not much of it, but talk about maybe a hobby or something you enjoy doing on the side.
Me and my buddies got into disc golf a while back, so we go down to Armco Park and we play disc golf all the time. Recently, we started playing ball golf recently at like Diamond Links and the country club, stuff like that. And it's just fun hanging out with my buddies. They're all graduated now, so this is really the only time I get to see them before they go off to college. We go out and if I'm not doing something active with my sports, I'm doing something active with my hobbies, with my friends, So hanging out with my good friends, JB Terrell, state champion, stuff like that. Cole Sexton, great discus thrower. Grant Chafin, great track runner, hanging out with all these athletes. That's who I surround myself with.
Yes, and lastly, I know you mentioned some names, but my last question is, are there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
I'd like to give a shout-out to my mom and my dad, Tippy and Clyde. I'd like to give a shout-out to my sister and brother-in-law, Sydney and Jacob. And, that's about it.
All right, well, Cole, we thank you for being on today, and be sure to stay tuned. You'll see plenty of the Boyd County Lions soccer team this season. It should be an exciting one as they return some key components from an Elite Eight team last season statewide. And we thank you for tuning in today and watching Roland Sports, where you meet the athletes.